Remember that guy out there who was like, overfitting doesn't exist? People, AI is coming for you. AI, while true, if user once look at item, advertise item. This is AI. This is AI. I would have never even thought of these small details would be the problem. It also muddles the origin of certain data sets. This can mean that researchers miss important features and skew the training of them. Many unwittingly use a data set that contained chest scans of children who did not have COVID as they're examples of what non-COVID cases look like. But as a result, the AIs, the artificial intelligences, learned to identify kids, not COVID. The AIs. Would that be artificial intelligences? Or would that be artificial's intelligence? The AIs. The Chineses. I think the plural's implied. Driggs Group trained its own model using a dataset that contained a mix of scans taken when patients were lying down and standing up, because patients scanned while lying down were more likely to be seriously ill. The AI learned wrongly to predict serious COVID risks from a person's position. In yet other cases, some AIs, artificial's intelligence, were found to be picking up on the text font that certain hospitals use to label their scans. As a result, fonts from the hospitals were more serious, with more serious cases became predictors of COVID. Yeah, these are what we call overfitting. Right, this is remember that guy out there who was like, overfitting doesn't exist? Remember that guy? Wasn't there also a case of online job reviewers where you read the same guy if you use a library background? Even more infamously, right? Like there used to be they teach you this in machine learning school. You train a model on successful people, and it's people who had like CEO jobs in different Fortune 500 or Forbes 500 companies, and you're training on their pictures, right? And so this didn't actually train on like their qualifications or anything that this person did, but it trained on like physically what a person looked like. And of course, what a person looks like in corporate America at executive levels are white dudes. So as it were, when you would take a picture of a, say, not white woman, it would say that this person has 0% chance of becoming a CEO of some sort, right? Similarly, if you are in a particular situation where you're either a child or laying down or at a particular hospital using like fucking Times New Roman, perhaps these are things that say you have COVID when you really don't. Or the opposite, where you don't have COVID, but you really do. This is, in some senses, overfitting to data that isn't really predictive of what's actually happening. But on the other side, in the world of statistics, we call this type 1 and type 2 error. You're pregnant and it's not true, or you're not pregnant and it is true. When these things happen, what's the reason these things are happening? On statistics, the basic level of this is your model isn't sensitive enough to pick up on nuanced details, right? In the practice of this, when you have a lot of data, you might overfit. And when you overfit, or you're picking up on something that you shouldn't be picking up on, you get shit like this. But replace the word pregnant with COVID, and replace person who looks like they can't give birth and person who looks like they're about to give birth with being a kid, with laying down, with fucking Comic Sans. And now we're talking about something a little more serious.